Here in New York City. Bob, what can you tell us about this event and how are you feeling about it?
Thank you very much, Chris. But before I start with that, I just want you all to know that Top Rank believes in gender equality. That's why we've replaced Christina Pancha, who's a new mother, with Chris Mattis.
I appreciate that, Bob. I've been lacking for opportunities lately.
What was the question?
Well, just the show in general. You're no stranger to doing big fights here in New York City.
This is great. I mean, this is obviously the main event is a fight that fight fans have been talking about for a while. I'm very, very excited to be associated with it. It's really a great thrill to bring a fight like this to Madison Square Garden and to bring a fight card like this. Look at this stage. Fighters from all over the world. Got an Olympic champion from Uzbekistan. We have Michaela, she's an American, fought for the U.S. Olympic team. Mick Conlan from Ireland, one of the most talked about amateur fighters, now in a great professional career. Carlos Adames from the Dominican Republic, looking to be one of the great stars. Pereira from Mexico, looking down the line. We have Teofimo Lopez, I fought in the Olympics for Honduras. But we also, don't forget America, we have the Fighting Marine, John Malheri, right?
Yeah.
December 5.
Two-time tour in Iraq. I mean, that's great. That took a lot more courage than getting in a ring, and that takes a lot of courage. Big hand for the Fighting Marine. I'm thrilled that we're for this card, and I'm thrilled that to put this Linares Loma lightweight championship fight on, and I want to thank my friends at Golden Boy who helped make this possible. The cooperation was tremendous. We had a conflict as far as the time. We ironed out that conflict like people should do when they're anxious to do an event. And all praise for Oscar and for Golden Boy. I want to thank you, Robert.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And representing Golden Boy is Robert Diaz alongside Bob. Robert, just your thoughts on this show and your level of excitement to see your guy Linares in the ring with Lomachenko.
Well, thank you, everybody. I mean, look at the turnout. It's beautiful. We're here at Madison Square Garden, a few days away. Very, very excited because this shows a couple of things. One, when two fighters really want to fight, and you know, we're in a day of social media and back and forth, but when they really want to fight and get in the ring, it can be done. And this is the case with Linares and Lomachenko. They wanted each other. The promoters got to work, set aside everything. I want to thank Mr. Honda for being a very important part in getting this fight together. Bob, like you said, it's been great. We're a few days away from giving the fans a beautiful fight and for putting boxing on the biggest stage. I mean, look at this. Madison Square Garden, one of the greatest fighters that ever come out of Ukraine, one of the greatest fighters that ever come out of Venezuela are the main event. And of course, tremendous undercard in the future of boxing. But on Saturday night, Venezuela against Ukraine are the top of the boxing world. And all eyes will be on that. Only in America can that happen. And at the Mecca of Boxing, Madison Square Garden. So we're very excited, and that just shows our commitment as well, to put on the best fights.
Bob, let me follow up with one. When you have a fighter as skilled as Lomachenko, sometimes it's tough to get guys to get in the ring with them. I mean, how difficult has it been to find opponents for Lomachenko, and how were these negotiations with getting with Linares?
Well, as Robert said, Jorge, to his credit, wanted to fight. So that made it easy. And we talked with our good friend Honda from Taiken Promotions, who co-promotes Linares with Golden Boy. We reached a number. And it was as simple as that, you know? It didn't really take a lot of effort. I can't say that we burned the midnight oil, you know, going over every little detail. We didn't. We're professionals. Once we had the number, it was very easy.
Well, what do you think of the way women's boxing started to get promoted here in the U.S.?
This is a huge time for women's boxing for sure. We've always needed big promoters to start signing women. I think that was the first step, and you needed people like HBO willing to put not just women on the card, but as the co-main event. So that was huge for women's boxing, and you know, because I'm one of the few women right now that is in spotlight, I feel a duty every time I step into that ring. I'm not just representing myself and, you know, my career. I'm representing women's boxing as a whole. So I take that duty seriously, and I'm ready to put on a good show.
I heard you say recently that in every training camp you go through, you try to take your game to another level. You try to add something onto it. These last couple of camps, this most recent one in particular, what have you tried to add onto your game?
Well, I think because I'm tall and I've always been a boxer mover, that's always been my style. I don't want to be a one-dimensional fighter, and my team doesn't want that for me either. So we've been working on being able to fight on the inside as well as being able to box and move. I don't want people to think that the way to beat me is to pressure me. That's what I'm used to. I've had people pressure me my whole career. So I can box on the outside and I can fight on the inside as well, and that's what we've been really just trying to make my, you know, my tools, build the tools in the toolbox and be able to work in all different positions in all parts of the ring.
Think this fight goes longer than 35 seconds?
We'll see. I obviously want the knockout because I want to show the world that women can be exciting and can have knockouts, especially with girls that don't belong in the ring with me or aren't on my level. So I think me and my team will know that first round, how long the fight's going to go, and if I see the knockout, I'm definitely going to take it.
Thank you, Michaela. Michael Conlan, again, no stranger to fighting here in New York City. Has this become kind of your second home here?
Yeah, I think so. I get a great turnout every time I box here, and you know, the atmosphere every time I'm in the arena and in the theater especially has been fantastic. So you know, I got to thank all the fans in New York for always coming out and supporting me.
How do you feel? You're a guy that's been on a fast track. Well, not fast track, but you're a bright prospect in this game. You're going to fight in your second 8-round fight. You only needed to go 2 rounds in the last one. How do you feel about the progress of your career up to this point?
I feel the progress of my career so far has been where I wanted to be. I feel I'm on the right track and moving steadily at the right pace. Where I feel like I'm where I need to be at the minute.
You don't get paid anymore to go extra rounds, but is there any part of you that hopes you get stretched out a little bit because you're fighting in another 8-round fight?
You don't get paid for overtime, so it does not matter to me. I've prepared for the longer distance, but if it goes short, it goes short.
Not to look too far ahead, but are you excited to be fighting back in Belfast a little bit later in the year?
I'm hugely excited. You know, Belfast is my hometown, and I don't think I've boxed there even as an amateur since around 2011. So for me, that is the big aim for me now. But I'm fully focused on Saturday evening.
Good luck on Saturday, Michael.
Thank you.
Teofimo Lopez, the guy next to me. I feel like I don't need to ask you a question. You're just kind of good to go. You good? You just want to just roll?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. It's a takeover, of course. May 12th. I'm doing what I gotta do, take over. No disrespect to Lomachenko and Linares. You know, wish you guys nothing but the best, but I'm here to take over the show. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to entertain and just put on a show for everybody. Definitely looking for the knockout. Definitely gonna go for the knockout and get the knockout. And it's just gonna be an exciting fight. You know, after this fight, there's gonna be big plans with Top Rank and everything, and it's just turning out great. Honestly, I'm blessed. I just want to thank God, and I want to thank also Bob Arum, my manager, David McWhorter, and ESPN for putting my skills out there. You know, it's time to change. You know, change things and just bring back boxing in the sense of excitement. You know, we need that. So having this card right here, you know, with Golden Boy and Top Rank, it's just a blessing and a half. This fight right here, this card is just amazing. So I'm grateful to be here, and I can't wait, honestly, I can't wait.
You've talked in the past about the importance of being a showman in the ring, of putting on that performance like you just spoke of. How important is that to you, not just to win, but to win in an impressive style?
You have to. I mean, at the end of the day, we're getting paid not to just win or anything like that, but we're getting paid to entertain and perform. You know, we're entertainers at the end of the day. I'm here to perform and just put on a show. So I know I'm going to win the fight. I know every fight that I've been training for, I'm going to win. But it's how you win the fight that determines I want to watch this guy more. And that's what I bring to the table. That's why they're talking so highly about me. And of course, 2017 Yahoo Sports Prospect of the Year. I mean, it shows. So I talk well. I'm not humble in the ring of boxing. I'm not humble in this sport. But outside the ring, it's two different people. That's how you got to be. I'm 20 years old. They look at me as a kid, but when I fight there, I'm so mature. It's a whole different side. So it's definitely, I'm just grateful. Like I said, May 12th, Saturday night, you guys are going to see something special, just something different.
I feel like you're lacking some confidence.
Am I? Dang.
Okay.
All right.
All
right, gotcha.
Since turning pro, how do you feel like your pro career has gone, and what's being a professional boxer like after serving in the Marines?
I still say that boxing is the easy part, because of course, being a Marine, you go through a lot of difficult things, and especially what I've been through in the 9 years I served in the Marine Corps. But boxing, even through the ups and downs, has always been the fun part, because I use my experience in terms of my service, what I've been through. When I'm in the gym having a tough time, and even in the ring when I'm having a tough time, I always say, I always look back to like what I've been through in the past, from 2 deployments, losing friends out there as well. And I just think, I've been through worse, so this is the fun part. You can get through this. So that's how I look at my career. Even now, I'm still having fun. I'm enjoying it, and even now that I'm with Top Rank, I feel like I have a fresh, new, great start. I'm just looking forward to getting back in the ring.
The kind of shape you have to be in the Marines, I mean, it prepares you pretty well, I would imagine, to be a professional boxer.
Oh yeah, I love training. I love training. Especially I train out there with Colorado Springs. I was Shakur Stevenson, Michaela. Of course I got a new team. Brian Bowman McIntyre, Red Spikes, Saul Dieguez. And especially Bud Crawford. We just put in a lot of hard work out there. But training to me is nothing new. It's just basically how you prepare yourself mentally more than anything than physically.
I hate training.
I love it, man.
What do you, Jamel, what do you hope 2018 looks like for you? What do you hope for the rest of this year?
I just want to have a busy year, and that's the reason why I chose to look forward to work with Top Rank, because they've been doing a lot of great things, especially with the ESPN platform. They have the dates, and I just want to just stay busy and of course get to that title. But like I said, it all starts Saturday, so I got to handle business first there.
Those are also some tremendous headphones you're wearing.
Oh yeah. Shout out to J-Lab Audio. Everybody knows me. I do a lot of sponsoring, so yeah, shout out to J-Lab, shout out to PG Sports.
Moving on to the main events. Elite in everything they possibly do. Vasiliy Lomachenko is, pound for pound, arguably the best fighter in the world today. He's been moving up and down in weight classes, taking on all comers, and he'll have one of his tougher tests to date in Jorge Linares, who stepped up to this challenge and embraced it. I'll start with Lomachenko. If you could just, I asked Bob at the beginning of this about how tough it is to get guys to fight you. You've always, from day one, been looking to take the toughest challenges. Has it been tough to find guys that want to step in to face you?
Я спросил у Боба, что трудно найти тебе соперников, которые будут достойны боксировать в ринге. Как ты думаешь, что трудно для тебя найти соперника?
Всем привет! Да, я хотел бы сказать огромное спасибо Богу и промоутерской своей компании Top Rank за то, что организовали мне этот бой. Это будет интересный бой, это будет захватывающий бой. И спасибо Линаресу за то, что согласился драться и решить, кто из нас сильнее. И
Yes, so first of all, I wanted to thank Bob. I wanted to thank Top Rank for organizing this bout. I wanted to thank Linares for taking this challenge. And Saturday night, we're just going to be putting in a ring a good bout, and we're going to find out who's the best.
This is another challenge for you in the sense that you're coming up in weight. How has the training been at this weight? How do you feel your strength, your power is going to carry at 135?
Как у тебя прошла подготовка, ты поднимаешься в весе, как ты видишь, ты принесешь силу, ударную силу.
Тренировки прошли хорошо, подготовка прошла замечательно, самое главное без травм. Как пройдет бой, как пройдет он, это одному Всевышнему известно, поэтому будет день, будет бой, после боя посмотрим.
The training went very well. You know, thanks God, without any injuries, everything went very good. Preparation went great. The way it's about gonna go, who knows? You know, it's a boxing, so it's gonna be a day, gonna be a fight, and after that, we're gonna see.
I hear you're working on your English. How's that coming along?
Pretty good?
Yes.
Bob, you've been very high on Lomachenko from day one. He is moving up in weight. How do you feel about him taking on this challenge?
Well, it's a challenge, but that's what makes a fighter one of the old-time greats. Challenges. You know, he was great at 126. He devastated everybody at 130. Now he's moving up to 135. And people say, is this a bridge too far? He and his father, who was a great trainer, says, no, it's not a bridge too far. And we're going to see on Saturday. But that's what boxing is all about. If there isn't any challenges, if there isn't any obstacles, who the hell wants to watch it?
Jorge, you're stepping in to face a tough opponent here. When you were offered this fight, how quickly did you accept it?
Desde un principio sabía que se iba a dar la pelea porque confiaba en la promotora, confiaba en Golden Boy, confiaba en Taken Promotion, confiaba también en Top Rank. Tanto como Lomachenko como yo queríamos la pelea y sabía que se iba a dar tarde o temprano. Estaba preparándome para esto y venimos trabajando desde hace mucho tiempo para conseguir esta pelea y ya se dio.
I was very confident from day one because this is a fight that I've been wanting. I've been working hard for the last few fights, preparing for this fight. I knew Lomachenko wanted it, I wanted it, so I was very confident that Golden Boy, Taken, and Top Rank would get it done.
In what ways have you prepared in the last few fights for a fight like this?
Mira, primero que nada fue, Dios es grande y me puso dos rivales zurdos al principio y eso para mí fue una ventaja grande porque sabíamos que íbamos a pelear con un boxeador élite muy pronto en ese entonces y se dio la pelea con Lomachenko y veníamos trabajando psicológicamente para eso y agradecido con Dios, agradecido con toda la promotora, agradecido con ESPN también, con Bob por darme la oportunidad, con la gente de Lomachenko, con Lomachenko, porque se hizo realidad la pelea y nada más estamos ya a 2 días de la gran pelea.
God is great. God is great. The last 2 opponents I faced were southpaws, purposely, as I was preparing psychologically and physically to fight Vasiliy Lomachenko. I've had him on my radar. And look, now I want to thank everybody. I want to thank ESPN. I want to thank the promoters, Bob, Lomachenko's team for coming up and taking the challenge. We're 2 days away. We're there.
You've obviously been thinking about Lomachenko then for a long time. What is it about your style that makes you think you'll be more effective against him than some of his other opponents have?
Es un boxeador élite, es un boxeador que es libra por libra, es respetable, ha tenido una carrera excelente en amateur, olímpico 2 veces, ahora pues está agarrando cada vez más experiencia como profesional, pero si él perdió, yo perdí, si él se levantó y ganó y yo también me he levantado y me he ganado, ya he hecho ya 6 defensas en mis títulos. Tiene sus virtudes, tiene su ventaja como su desventaja, como cualquier otro boxeador, tiene 2 manos como 2 piernas. Es rápido, yo también, y creo que la pelea se va a poner cada vez más interesante a medida que vaya pasando los rounds.
Look, he's an elite fighter. He's a tremendous fighter, had a tremendous amateur career. And he's gaining every fight, he's gaining professional experience. But he's been beat. He knows how to get up and after defeat. So do I. I've been defeated and I've been back up. I'm on my 6th defense. This fight is the best fighting the best. And we're gonna show. I believe and trust me when I say this, the fight's gonna get more intense as the rounds go by.
Robert, I'd put the same kind of question to you. What do you think Linares' greatest strength in this fight, greatest asset in this fight is going to be?
Look, we have, from when we started talking, personally, when we started talking about this fight, it had all the makings of what he wanted. I want to fight the best fight out there. Go get me the best fight. That's the best fight out there. You guys have said it unanimously. We believe it. There's no confusion here. We know he is one of the best fighters in the world. What gives me the confidence of Jorge Linares is he's been through hell and back. He's been at the highest plateau of boxing. He's a world champion, 3-division world champion, and he's been to the bottom. He didn't like it. That's where all the hard work that he's put in the last 13 fights, going to the UK against some of the best boxing fans in the world, where we had maybe 3 fans on our side. Maybe we saw 1 flag from Venezuela. And gaining those fans who are now his fans. That's what gets you through these fights. He's been through hell and back. Come Saturday night, yes, everybody says Jorge has not fought a fighter like Vasiliy Lomachenko. This is his biggest challenge, his best opponent. That's correct. But Lomachenko has not fought a fighter like Jorge Linares. That's why this fight is special, and this is a fight nobody wants to miss. It's going to be a great night, and the fans are going to win.
Best against the best. You can't ask for much more than that. Before we wrap up, Bob, any final thoughts?
No, I echo, for once, I echo what
Oh my God, this is cool.
All right.
No, one more. Lomachenko, Linares time, the king. Lomachenko, that's because no more. After Saturday night, it'll be Jorge Linares that we'll be talking about.
Shots fired.
Well, again, tickets are still available, starting just $56 available at Ticketmaster.com, MSG box office. All the undercard bouts are on ESPN+. Doors open at 4. The first bell is at 4:30 Eastern. ESPN telecast.
Look at everybody. Look at the crowd. This is so funny. Down in front.
Straight up, Jorge, straight for me. ESPN account break, thanks.
Loma over here, Loma. Got it.
Good, Mikey? Face off?
No.